8:45. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Here is the news edited by Danushka Madhavela and read by Indrani Senanayake. The headlines. The Asian Development Bank stated that the bank is ready to provide funds to restructure several state-owned enterprises. The Litro Gas Company says that the domestic LP gas distribution process has been restored at present. Sri Lanka and China reaffirm the special bonds of friendship between the two nations. The central bank rejects the allegations made by some parties, saying that all the recent issues of this country have occurred due to the dollar crisis. The president says solutions to the power issues should be found without disrupting civilian life. In foreign news, ousted Myanmar leader Aung San Suu Kyi jailed for another 4 years. In sports news, Novak Djokovic focused on Australian Open after winning court ruling. The Asian Development Bank stated that the bank is ready to provide funds to restructure several state-owned enterprises. Vice President Thaksin Shin made these remarks when he met President Gotabaya Rajapaksa at the Presidential Secretariat today. He further said that the bank will support the small and medium enterprises sector for the economic development of the country. Ching also commended the success of ongoing projects in Sri Lanka with the assistance of the Asian Development Bank. He commended the successful COVID-19 vaccination program and the streamlined health mechanisms implemented by the government. The ADB had allocated $786 million for Sri Lanka this year for the implementation of 27 projects. The Asian Development Bank's annual meeting will be held in Sri Lanka from the 2nd of May to the 5th with the participation of 68 countries. Simultaneously, plans are afoot to hold several activities, including business conferences. About 5,000 local and foreign representatives are expected to attend these events. The annual meeting will be held under the theme Positioning Climate Resilient Green Economy for the Post-COVID-19 World. The Litro Gas Company says that the domestic LP gas distribution process has been restored at present. The company urges customers not to purchase gas at higher prices. Foreign Minister Professor G.L. Pires highlighted the warm and special relationship and the multifaceted nature of the partnership between Sri Lanka and China in his opening remarks at the bilateral meeting with the State Councillor and the Minister of Foreign Affairs of the People's Republic of China, Yang Yi, held at Temple Trees yesterday. Foreign Minister Yang Yi is on a brief official visit to Sri Lanka to launch the celebrations marking the 70th anniversary of the historic Rubber Rice Pact and the 65th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations between Sri Lanka and China. Speaking further, Foreign Minister Pires stated that whenever Sri Lanka faces difficulties, support was always forthcoming from China in the fullest measure. In this context, the minister expressed sincere thanks and profound appreciation to Foreign Minister Yang Yi for China's spontaneous and generous support in the national vaccination drive to combat the COVID-19 pandemic, including the donation of 3 million doses of the vaccine. Moreover, the timely assistance from China during the current economic situation in the country by affording the facility of a $1.5 billion currency swap with the Central Bank of Sri Lanka has helped to boost the country's currency reserves. This has further reinforced the abiding friendship and mutual trust between the two countries. Governor of the Central Bank, Ajit Niwad Kabra, rejects the allegations made by some people saying that almost all the issues of this country had occurred due to the recent dollar crisis. The governor says that several parties are trying to gain petty political objectives, saying that there is a huge crisis in Sri Lanka. But he rejects all allegations and noted that the import and export processes of the country are continuing smoothly and anyone can observe it as those are carried out in a very transparent manner. This news comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
Get an extra 10 rupees for every dollar sent by your loved ones abroad.
We continue with local news. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa has stressed that steps should be taken to find a solution to the power crisis without disrupting the lives of the people. The President made these remarks during a discussion held at the Presidential Secretariat this morning with the heads of the power and energy sectors regarding the issue of power cuts. The official said this situation has arisen due to several issues in relation to the generation of electricity using coal and fossil fuels. They said managing the coal reserves in Sri Lanka is adequate to avert a power crisis. The officials also said that proper management of fuel-fired power generation can help prevent power cuts. The Minister of Power and Energy stated that all steps have been taken to manage the current situation and maintain the livelihood of the people. The COVID-19 vaccination process for students in the Colombo municipal area will commence on Wednesday. Medical officer of the School Health Bureau, Dr. T.N. Jailat, says that the first phase will commence from the 12th of this month until the 5th of February. The vaccination process for the students who were born from the 7th of January 2010 kicked off on the 7th of this month. The managing director and the chief engineer of Sakurai Aviation have been arrested by the Colombo Crimes Division. They have been arrested for criminal negligence in connection with the emergency landing of a light aircraft in Kimbulapitia, Katunayaka, which resulted in injuries to 2 pilots and 2 foreigners. Up next is the main news story.
Get an extra 10 rupees for every dollar sent by your loved ones abroad. Receive your money instantly via People's Bank.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa says that the Sir John Kotalawala Defence University has been recognised locally and internationally. The Prime Minister mentioned this during a ceremony held to launch the academic activities of the university's technological faculty and to open the new entrance. Apart from the existing 9 faculties, academic activities of the technological faculty commenced today. Speaking on the occasion, the Prime Minister said the government always pays special attention to education. He pointed out that steps have been taken to develop higher educational institutes, universities and schools. The Prime Minister said that the increased number of students admitted annually to the university reflects the success of the institution. That was the main news story. Watchlight follows.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Watchlight. The Central Bank of Sri Lanka urges the public to be more vigilant as counterfeit notes are circulating in large numbers across the country. The Central Bank instructs the public to notify the nearest police station or the counterfeit currency unit of the CID at 011 24 22176. I'll repeat that number. 0112 422 and 0112 326670. I'll repeat that number again. 0112 326670. That was Watchlight. A bulletin of world news will follow.
Coming up, world news.
We take a look at world news headlines. Ousted Myanmar leader Aung San Suu Kyi jailed for another 4 years. Booster shot start for priority groups in India as cases surge. Kazakhstan president says unrest was coup attempt. A court in Myanmar has sentenced ousted leader Aung San Suu Kyi to 4 more years in prison in the latest of a series of trials. She was convicted for illegal possession and import of walkie-talkies and breaking COVID-19 rules. Ms. Suu Kyi was first convicted in December and given a reduced jail sentence of 2 years. She has been detained since a military coup last February and faces about a dozen charges, all of which she denies. Her trials have been widely condemned as unfair. The charges in the latest case stemmed from when soldiers searched a house on the day of the coup by forces led by Army Chief Min Aung Hlaing. The devices they say they discovered are presumed to have been used by her security guards, resulting in a conviction widely viewed as no more than a tactic to justify detaining her. India has begun giving booster doses of the COVID-19 vaccine to priority groups amid a surge of infections. Health and frontline workers and people above 60 years are currently eligible to take the jab. The drive began in India's battle at spike in COVID cases fueled by an Omicron variant of the coronavirus. Earlier studies from other countries have suggested that a booster vaccine may provide more protection against Omicron. Kazakhstan's President Kassym-Jomart Tokayev has described deadly violence last week as an attempted coup d'etat. He told leaders of a military alliance of ex-Soviet states that action has been coordinated by a single center but did not name those responsible. Russia's President Vladimir Putin said Kazakhstan had been targeted by international terrorism but provided no evidence of his claim. He added that Russia would never allow revolutions in the region. Troops from Russia and other countries are currently in Kazakhstan to restore order. To end this bulletin of world news, the headlines again. Ousted Myanmar leader Aung San Suu Kyi jailed for another 4 years. Booster shots start for priority groups in India as cases surge. Kazakhstan president says unrest was coup attempt. That ends this bulletin of world news. Development news follows.
Development news is brought to you by Let's take all out of the coconut tree and make the island thriving and prosperous. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070 400 1928.
On to development news. The government has taken steps to make several changes in the judicial sector of the country. It is expected to promote judges and to increase the number of courts to suit promotions. The changes will be made with the approval of the Judicial Services Commission. Steps have been taken to train new magistrates. President's legal advisor and President's counsel Luar de Silva said that the number of cases that can be heard by a magistrate has been limited to 5,000. That was development news. A look at sports news next.
Development news was brought to you by the coconut tree is well grown in almost all the parts of the island. It is an exceptional source of extra income. The shell, the husk and almost all the parts of the coconut tree makes you money, providing you with an excellent extra source of income. It will also help to nourish the economy of the country. You will be guided with all necessary informations regarding the coconut cultivation, with the novel cultivation techniques and all other related and upgraded informations by the Coconut Research Institute, Lunavilla. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070 400 1928.
On to sports news. Novak Djokovic has returned to the tennis court after winning a legal battle in Australia that overturned his visa cancellation. "I'm pleased and grateful," the unvaccinated tennis star tweeted after midnight local time, alongside a picture of himself back in training. "Justice has won and the law of rule has won," his father tells the media. Djokovic's lawyers argued in court that the visa cancellation at Melbourne Airport last week was unreasonable, and the judge agreed. But Australia's immigration minister still has powers to re-cancel the reinstated visa and deport the tennis player. The Australian Open begins on the 17th of January. And if Djokovic wins, he will become the most successful men's player in history. Well, that was sports news. Business news follows.
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Business news sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
The National Youth Services Council has launched a program to create 5,000 young entrepreneurs. It will be implemented together with 3 commercial banks. Chairman of the council, Damita Wickramasinghe, said that a method will be devised to purchase their products. That was business news. Economic news follows.
Business news, sponsored by
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Economic news, courtesy of...
I bought my daughter a laptop for her work by managing my finances. Whatever the expenses may be, I can't afford to miss out on life's special moments like her birthday or our anniversary. So you need to invest to make your family's future flourish.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act No. 42 of 2011.
The Hambantota International Port, HIP, has received the Fitness for Service certification for its tank farm facility. The certification was issued by Lloyd's Register, the world's leading provider of classification, compliance and consultancy services to the marine and offshore industries. This is a landmark achievement that will further strengthen the HIP brand in the maritime world. That was economic news. Finally, a look at the weather reports.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act No. 42 of 2011.
The weather report.
The Met Department says the low-level atmospheric disturbance still persists to the southeast of Sri Lanka. Showers or thunder showers will occur at times in the northern, north-central, eastern, central and Uva provinces and in the Hambantota district. Fairly heavy showers above 75 millimeters may occur at some places in the eastern, Uva and north-central provinces and in the Hambantota and Matale districts. Showers or thunder showers will occur at several places in the western and Sabaragama provinces and in the Galle and Matara districts. Fairly heavy showers above 75 millimeters may occur at some places in the Ratnapura, Kalutara, Galle and Matara districts. That was the weather report. To end tonight's news broadcast, we take a look at the headlines again. The Asian Development Bank stated that the bank is ready to provide funds to restructure several state-owned enterprises. The Litrogas company says that the domestic LP gas distribution process has been restored at present. Sri Lanka and China reaffirm the special bonds of friendship between the two nations. The central bank rejects the allegations made by some parties, saying that the recent issues in this country have occurred due to the dollar crisis. The president says solutions to the power issue should be found without disrupting civilian life. In foreign news, ousted Myanmar leader Aung San Suu Kyi jailed for another 4 years. And in sports news, Novak Djokovic focused on Australia Open after winning court ruling. That ends tonight's news broadcast.